All right, let's do another call for help. It might not take me a full half hour to solve that one. Peter in Milwaukee. Hello, Peter.
Hello. Hi, Leo.
Oh, I love your Japanese cherry blossom prints. Those are very pretty.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Are you at work?
No, at home. That's the decorating that my wife did in the back.
She's got some good taste
nice.
there, Peter. So, what can we do for you?
So I bought an Apple Watch back in October. The new features with the GPS, so it could track my running. One of the reasons why I got that is I didn't want to have to haul around like a big phone at the gym. I wanted to be able to download music locally and also track my fitness. That's all great, but when it came to like listening to the same track over and over, it got a little boring. That's when I wanted to look into features of the same functionality for podcasts. When I started looking into it, it did not seem like a simple solution where you could just download podcasts. So really what I'm calling in is there some way to actually do that on the Apple Watch in an easy way or a third-party application?
Yeah, because the whole reason you got the new Series 2 is so you didn't have to bring the phone with you, right? Because it's got the GPS.
Correct, yeah.
So this has how much? 4 gigs, right? But only 2 is available for music?
It lets you have a couple gigs of files stored on it, of music files.
And you can have any Bluetooth. If you had the AirPods, for instance, they would automatically pair to it.
Absolutely.
Or you could pair a Bluetooth headset to it, right?
Right, any Bluetooth headset will work with it.
But if you connect it, what you'll find is it only copies music.
Right, exactly right.
Not podcasts.
WatchOS 3 lets you copy multiple playlists, but it's only music. There's no Apple Podcast app for the Apple Watch right
Apple?
now.
How are you going to get your TWiT on here, Apple?
Yeah,
You're
it's
incomparable.
It's a
How
problem.
are you going to do that?
It's a problem.
So what do you do?
Well, the bad news is right now you basically have to use that music path to do this. So what you need to do is go into iTunes and select some podcasts and choose Command I or Get Info, right? And then say that they're music. There's a little media kind pop-up, and you need to change it from podcast to music.
So hit that drop down if you would, there, Anthony. And
oh, all right. Well.
Oh, so it only says music. If it said podcast, you could choose music.
You change it to music, and then also the remember playback position is good because that way, when you go back to it later,
I was going to say that would be a negative.
It won't start from the beginning. Bad for music, right?
One of the things spoken word does that music doesn't do is keeps your position.
Exactly.
So turning it to music, but check the box that says remember playback position.
So this is not the best solution, but it's right now I think the only one that will really work. Is you take your podcasts, you mark them as music, you put them in a playlist, like a podcast playlist, and then you sync that to your Apple Watch, which probably means you have to go through, you either need to sync to your phone via iTunes or you need to use iCloud Music Library. Not fun, but if you can get it on your phone,
and then
your phone will transfer
it
to the
does
watch.
it automatically. You don't have to do anything.
You've got to select that playlist.
In the watch app.
In the watch.
Okay.
Now, you would think third-party apps would do this, but as far as I know, no third-party podcast apps do this yet. And the reason is, from what I hear, from my sources, I can exclusively report, there are some bugs in WatchOS 3 that prevent reliable music playback on third-party apps or podcast playback on third-party apps. So my guess is that the moment that Apple
fixes that,
ships their own podcast app for the Apple Watch, it'll be fixed.
Magically.
But in the meantime, the only real reliable audio player on the watch is the music app.
Yeah.
And that means you need to fake it and say that your podcasts are music.
So you go in the watch app and there's a music section and you say, you choose the playlist.
You pick your playlists, right.
So I have classical, folk, purchased, and rock. So I selected folk, and that's synced automatically up to 2 gigabytes.
Yeah. So it's like old school podcasts where you have to manage it all yourself manually instead of just having it happen automatically.
So weird that Apple doesn't have a podcast app for the watch. That seems like
I know, right? It seems to have not been a priority for them, but I hope that they will do it because it's a natural. I agree with you. I've had those same thoughts, which is I go for a run and I really don't want to have my phone in my pocket.
Let me throw you a curve. Will this work with audiobooks? You listen to Audible.
Yeah, same thing though.
So you could say to an audiobook your music
if you've got it in iTunes.
If you have it in
Basically,
iTunes.
if it's an MP3.
Because that's all I really would put on here. And one audiobook is usually less than a gig, so you could have 1 or 2 books in here. That's what I would listen to.
Yeah,
unfortunately, if I exercise.
Keep in mind it doesn't sync back, so this is old school. If you then listen on another device,
it doesn't know where the position is.
Well, I wonder. I bet it wouldn't.
Bet it
no, because it's music then at that point,
right.
And it doesn't sync the music positions.
Best we can do, but at least you can do it.
I have hope though. I have hope that there'll be a WatchOS update, hopefully before they do WatchOS 4. because I know that podcast app developers have investigated this and have filed bugs with Apple about it because they want to do it. They want to have their apps on the iPhone sync with the Apple Watch, and it just seems like it's not.
Well, like Marco, I'm sure would like to have Overcast.
Marco
work
would
with
love
it,
to
right?
do that.
Yeah.
I'm positive,
Yeah.
but it sounds like you can get it to play, but there's some questions about whether you can get it to stay playing that are just, Apple needs to fix some of the media stuff. The media stuff in the Watch OS, not as advanced as the media stuff in iOS.
When Apple gets its $200 billion back from Ireland or wherever it's stored, maybe they could put $1 billion, just $1 billion. That's just one half of 1%.
They could get that $1 billion from Qualcomm.
Just take, or from Qualcomm. And just put $1 billion into fixing iTunes, music, all of this stuff.
And we'll put podcasts for Apple Watch on the list. That would be a nice one.
All we ask Apple is $100 million for podcasts. That's all. I hope that helps, Peter.
Yeah, thank you. One last request. I was hoping I could get a selfie like Frank, and you.
Oh yeah, I can do a selfie for you too. We have his email, right? All right. Yeah, brilliant. And I'll upload it to the Synology. All right, here we go. This is good. This could be our new thing. We could do this. We could do this every time here. Jason? You should get in this too.
All
right, come on over here. Hi. All right, I took 3. One of them will work.
Yeah, the one of them was a little shaky.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What do you
real-time
think?
follow-up.
You think that's all right?
Real-time follow-up from the chat room. There is apparently an app called Watch Player. That claims to do this. My guess is that it's kind of not
kludgy?
Great, but hey, if you could get it to work, then that would be something you could try.
Chat room, you rock.
Good job, chat room.
Yay.
But my guess is they're going to run into the same bugs, which is sometimes you'll just lose control of it, and it's buggy right now. It'll get better.
Thanks, Peter.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
We'll send you that picture as soon as it uploads to my Synology.
Yeah, there it is.
Thank you.